Alrighty, guys, welcome back once again. We are live for the 5th annual Barry Hooey Memorial Tournament. We are broadcasting out of the Leather Pocket, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. My name is Grant. I'm sitting beside the one and only Mr. Sean McKay. How are you, Sean?
Hey, Grant. Pretty good. How are you?
Well, I'm not too terrible. Got back from Puerto Rico a few days ago, so still a little jet lagged, but
how was the weather?
Phenomenal.
Nice.
Really, really nice.
Did they have the event in the same hotel you stayed in, or no?
No, we got an Airbnb, and we chose that because at the end of the day, when we were done our work with Jam Up, we could go 2 minutes walk and go to the beach.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think a lot of those events are almost equally about a holiday as they are about the event itself.
Yeah, well, and
after a period of time, you try to make it a holiday, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because you've been there,
yeah.
Maybe Vegas or Reno or Toronto, you might have been there multiple times, and you've kind of been there, done that, and you'd like to make something new.
Same as Vegas, right? I mean, Vegas was okay, and, all that kind of stuff, but it was... I
don't think I've stayed at the same hotel as the event in Vegas in 15 years. Not since the Rib, or maybe Bally's when I played. That's it. Otherwise, I always stay somewhere else just so you can get away, right?
Yeah. Anyone out there, we are here. Indeed. We have both chats open.
So we got Joe Spence and Stephen Holem that are going to play the A final, and they were predicted 1 and 2 at the beginning of the event, actually.
Who predicted that?
There was probably about 20 or 30 guys here in the room that predicted that.
Very nice.
I think it's probably because they get out more. Like Ben Francis, Eric Vargas, Brady Golan, Brady used to be a real monster, and he's kind of toned down a little bit. He's just a great player now, which great players are great players. But Stephen and Joe travel. And that you can't get past the fact that maybe this is Ben Francis's room and he might play as good or better than anybody, but he doesn't get away anymore.
Yeah.
And / ever. I don't know if Ben has ever gone on a 3-week, 6-week tour.
Not yet, but he is scheduled to go to the Derby City.
Okay, there you go. That would be
so he's heading to DCC.
That's a big event.
That is it'll be a bit of an eye-opener for him, I think.
Yep.
Just because of the level of gamble that those guys do at the Derby.
And literally, like I played in the Reno U.S. bar box where over a week long you are beside or playing against pros for a week straight.
Yep.
Where here, Ben is beside or playing against guys he plays every week, every month. There's nothing different. It's the same
day in, day out.
So he kind of knows what shot they're going to struggle with because he's seen or played against them, whereas...
Which tactically has its, it does have an advantage in knowing that, right?
Well, in regards to safety, 100%, because you're now letting your opponent at the table, but when your opponent's working their way around the table, there's not much you can do but watch them have success or fail, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Looks like they're about to lag here. Good luck, fellas.
Indeed. They are teammates, road dogs.
Yep. Two right-handers.
Yeah, brothers from another mother's. And we are loaded.
Looks like Joe is going to win.
So what's your prediction? Who comes out on top here, Sean?
Well, this is very close. Normally I would just predict Steven based on his break and his experience. But in this case, like you said, they're almost brothers. There's not going to be any intimidation factor for Joe against Steven. It's just like he's played him umpteen times. Of course, probably has a slightly worse record because Steven is a little bit stronger player, but Joe really has picked up his game.
He really has.
He's showing that, in my opinion, he's going to be a pro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, anybody can just call themselves a pro.
Yeah.
I can just tomorrow say, I'm going to go play pro. So,
and it's actually one of the problems I see within the industry is exactly that problem.
Yeah. They just step in, and now I'm a pro, and next week I'm an amateur, and next week I'm a pro again.
Yep, exactly. So my prediction is I think it's going to be a tight match the whole way, but I think Joe's going to come out on top.
Nice. Well, it's very possible.
And I'll tell you why is Steven's won this twice, and Joe has yet to win it. He's yet to get his name on the cup.
Yeah, he might want it more.
And I think that's going to be the difference maker.
Possible. I think it's going to come down to the break. whoever has more success on the break is going to have the biggest advantage.
Yeah.
We all know that once you get to this level, even a little lower than this level, so let's say the better amateurs, the break is the most important shot in the game.
I agree.
Because if you can not only control the table but run the balls, you need to be the first to the table.
Yeah, tester here on the 1 to the 2. Do you go straight across and try to play into the 3, or do you perhaps go forward?
He might be able to snap it back and shoot the 2 in the same pocket,
Yeah.
but I think
It's a test.
odds are he's going to take his chances and go through between the 2 and the 3 or between the 3 and the 5, and if he crashes, he should still get a chance because the crash is probably coming on the 3 ball. Right, so the 2 will stay open for him.
Yeah, he'll have the option for 2 in the right side pocket.
Yeah. This is a high percentage chance take, and easier to pot the ball and just take a chance.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a skid there, I think.
Something happened there.
Yeah,
He definitely undercut it.
I think that ball skidded a little.
I've had a couple of skids here. I don't know what kind of chalk they're using, but most Super Aeromith balls take the Masters chalk well still, but these Predator balls do not.
They don't.
No,
I think they're both using the Town, whether
Okay,
it's
that
V10
shouldn't
or
be an
whichever
issue
one.
then, really. He might have possibly just missed it.
Yeah. It looked like a skid, but I could very well be wrong. I'm wearing my sunglasses because I want to cut down on the glare that I get from the screen when you sit in here all day.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right.
I think he come up a little short. He wanted to be.
Yeah, he wanted to be
a
on
roll
the
ahead,
below angle,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
He wanted to get there with next time with his cue ball. I don't know if he can get there or not.
He may have to just
take the
settle
combo.
for rolling forward.
Yeah, take the combo.
And take the combo, or roll forward just to the side pocket and take the sharper cut.
He had to take the one out of the jaws, and there's no guarantees when you shoot balls out of the jaws that you're going to control the cue ball.
Very,
well.
very true.
Oh,
he can force
he could
it over.
muscle it. Yeah. See, there you go. So he got there, but muscling it took away some of his accuracy.
I agree. Steep cut here, going to the side pocket, I would think. Does the 4 pass the 8? I believe it does.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice little controlled 2-rail shot here. The double horn gets him, and
he didn't control the cue ball either.
No,
It got away on him.
I kind of noticed that in the last match. His cue ball wasn't quite
As good
on
as usual.
par. Yeah.
Right. Joe's got a fine cut in the side, but it should come out at a slightly awkward angle for the 4 in that corner past the 8. But if he really fine cuts it, he might be able to shoot the 4, almost get on the line he is now.
Yeah, for the bottom right.
A little further away with the cue ball, but that would be the line he would be.
This is the shot right here. What a great shot.
Yeah, very good.
Past the 9 to the bottom right.
Pretty much within 6 inches he got to where he just was.
Yeah. Nice little draw. Catch that left side rail back out for the 5.
Yeah, he'll probably try to stay closer to the side rail because it'll give him natural angle to land on the 7, and the straighter the better almost on that 7.
Yeah. Is anybody else getting an echo in our chat?
An echo, right?
Yeah, we've got a comment here on YouTube says there's an echo. And I'm not sure why that would be.
He muscled that cue ball out a little bit, and now he has to muscle another shot. Instead of leaving the cue ball close to the side rail and taking the natural, now he's either going to have to follow 2 rails or really hammer it with a stun shot. Let's see which one he chooses.
No echo, no echo, no echo on Facebook. So if you are getting an echo on YouTube, just back out and come back in again. If it's still there, hop on over to the Facebook feed.
So he went for the stun shot, and you can see he's not nearly as good as he'd like to be.
Yep.
Sometimes when the balls are, you can see all the setup, you take some shots for granted, and it might have been better for him to go around and look on the other side of the table and realize he didn't have to work hard to get the cue ball where he wanted for the 5 ball.
Yeah.
He could have left it on the side rail and made it easier on him to get on the 7.
The positive thing here is there's really nothing to do but make the 7.
Correct.
Go from right side, catch the left side rail and back out for the 8.
Yep. As long as he comes out a foot, he's good.
That's right.
A foot to 2 feet.
Oh, he put in some inside on it.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, well done. I would probably say 2 rails out here again.
Yeah.
Some left-hand spin on the cue ball. A little bit hampered by the 9.
Well, if he's hampered, he might try to dig in.
Yeah, draw back to where he's at. No, forces it. So he had the opposite angle that I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell here.
It is.
Our angle is not
It's not true.
the same as if you're standing out there watching. You would have a better visual.
Yep.
This should give Joe a little bit of confidence.
Drawing first blood for sure. Well, and he's been hitting the ball so well this tournament. Who was he playing? Jeff Wanless. And Jeff had him down 8-6.
Ooh, and he made a comeback.
He made a comeback.
Jeff actually Jeff did pretty good there because he beat Stan, who's not as well known for playing on 9-foots, but he beat Stan and then gave Joe a good run for his money. So
Sure did. Jeff was playing pretty lights out yesterday.
I ended up stopping him in the 8-ball. His break come up dry, and that's huge issue in 8-ball. You have so many choices to get going. That's similar to how I lost, and it wasn't that my break was dry. My opponent's break was fantastic.
Yeah. Mike Pringle-Isaac did that. We were just talking about that before we went live. And Mike did that to me on the B side. Never missed a ball.
Yeah.
I missed one shot, and I lose 5-1.
Well, you can get in a rhythm, too. Like, if the ball's open nicely for you, it can be a lot of tic-tac-toe shots. There's no real working, right?
That's right, and that's exactly what it was.
That really brings your confidence up. Right.
He broke and made 3 or 4 balls every break, and it was just like kiddie layouts.
Yeah.
Right? And there's nothing you can do, right?
I think I can't quite see the angle, but how calm he is, I think he can see this one ball.
Yeah. Now, I think he backs this one out, right? Shoot the one up to the top right, draw in.
Is that the 2 there?
That's the 2, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Draws out of there between the 3-7 for the 2 down to the bottom right.
Yeah, just the side pocket's the only thing he's going to be worried about, and he decided to go forward.
Yeah, forward works. I like the draw there a little bit better.
I think the draw was the fact that the side pocket came completely into play. The path between the 7 and the 5 coming out, the side pocket was within 6 inches of where he wanted to be. So
yeah,
a lot of times guys go with what keeps
the pocket.
Keep the worry out, right?
Yeah.
Well, he give this one a good one, and it looks like he might get all the way around. He's got to go.
A little short, perhaps.
Yeah, that was a talented idea, being able to see those angles.
But I wonder if he took a little bit off because of the vicinity of the 9 ball, right? Typically, if you overpower that, you can run the risk of running into the 9.
Right, he did. I don't know. A lot of times you're right, but I don't think there because he only had to go 6 inches more to be really good.
Yeah.
And he missed the 9 by a lot. So it's possible.
Straight, safe play. Yeah. Leaks out a little bit. That'll give Joe the outside edge. Full in on the 3, I would think. Try to use the 5 ball. Set the cue or the 3 on the left side.
If he can see enough of this 3 ball, yeah. He might just legitimately try to freeze right on the back of the 5 ball. Almost no separation, and that weight's going to be real close to getting the 3 ball deadly behind the 7 too.
Yeah.
Safety first, hook second.
That's right. I think the key to that is cue ball. Make sure your cue ball gets good.
Yeah.
Right. Really, if you can get behind the 5 ball with the cue ball. Really doesn't matter where the 3 goes.
Well, true, but you can't take a chance. See what's happened. He
almost got the 7.
I think he had more than. I wonder if he spun that a little bit.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, he put a lot of spin onto that ball.
I'm not used to watching these screens, so I can tell right away when I'm watching out in live. But here it was hard to tell for me. Grant's been watching for how many hours already now?
Yeah.
2,000 hours.
Yeah, I've got a few hours in on the mic.
You know exactly what it looks like when they're digging in on a ball or they're just letting it naturally happen.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely put some right hand spin on that cue ball.
Okay, so he's got 2 simple choices here: straight up and back, or a little bit of left and go 2 rails on that 6.
I think Steven likes to move that cue ball more than most. I would favor him going 2 rails here. He really likes to manipulate that cue ball.
I actually thought he was shooting the 5. I didn't even notice. Yeah, Steve is more of a big stroke guy.
Yep.
And all the big stroke guys do better on the 9-foot table because there's twice the room and it allows for a big stroke.
Yeah. And same thing here, right? Nothing to do. Make the 5 ball, 2 rails around for the 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that like it's elementary, but we are talking on a 9-foot table, and that is my Achilles heel.
It's kind of elementary for them.
For them, yeah.
Not as much for the person talking about it.
Yes. Most certainly. Well, even yourself, right? A shot like this is no issue for you.
Yeah.
For me, it is an issue.
Yep.
Because it is a 9-foot. I've got that shake.
I totally believe that everybody should play more 9 and 10 ball. Even if you're strictly an 8-ball player, you should play more 9 and 10 ball because it forces you to learn how to play position, not just try to get lucky.
100%
Because that's kind of what happens with 8-ball is you're trying to get the cue ball to an area and then you start looking around when you get there.
Yep.
Instead of legitimately trying to play to 1 foot on one specific ball.
Yeah.
Well, he brings himself back here and he's got pretty classic angle to cut the ball in, let the cue ball drift just short of the side, bounce probably a foot off the side rail, and he'll have a
well, and he can either play that just straight tops 2 rails and have the 9 to the left, bottom left pocket, or if he really wants to get fancy, which is typical Steven, is go 2 rails and go to the left side of 9 for the 9 to the bottom right.
Yeah, like that's probably because he wants to stay entertained or something.
Yeah, he likes to move the cue ball.
Yeah,
right.
Like Edwin Montel years ago is an even more flamboyant example.
Yes.
When he was a pro, he wanted to move that cue ball all the time because he felt good about it. He didn't like the tap shot like 8-ball or a lot of natural shapes. And well done.
Speaking of Edwin, I was half expecting Edwin to show up for this event. This would have been a good one for him.
Yeah, this would have been.
What's going on, Sean? Woody, how are you? Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you are just joining us, do us a favor, hit that share button. We are into the A final of the Barry Hooey Memorial. Sitting beside me is Mr. Sean McKay, I believe out of just outside of Red Deer. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, in Red Deer.
In Red Deer? Okay, perfect. I have a good memory. It's just short.
Well, I've kind of have a couple of rentals, right? So
gotcha.
it started in Hat and then Calgary and then Red Deer.
A city hopper.
Yeah. Mainly because of my job, I move around. But here we go with Joe again.
Great break.
Great cue ball control.
Does he get the reward? Look at this table.
He does get the reward.
This is pretty dressed.
Very well done. Probably only the 2 to the 3 is going to be the issue. He does that and the table opens up nicely for him.
Sure does.
So I don't know. It looks like he's just off angle on the 1 ball. He might have to pop it and accept the 2 ball because the 3 is almost in line with where he'd like to be. He might have to accept being a little bit of a cutback on the 2, which is not a real issue.
Nope.
And this is what he's doing. He's accepting that 2 ball, but now he's
guaranteed the shot.
Yeah, but he's totally taken on a harder shot. So this is the 2 to the 3 becomes the shot, right?
Yeah. So do you draw over off that 2 and try to connect with the 8?
If you hit the wrong side of the 8, it's trouble.
It is.
Right? So now he's almost at the pop position where he lets the cue ball go between the 5 and the 8 forward.
Yes.
And go 1, 2, 3 rails
rail
out. The bad part is that if he slow rolls that pop shot, the 3 wants to go in that top left where the 9 is, and he's looking at it right now, and it's not there for him. And that's where you'd like to land with that 2-rail pop shot or just slightly bounced 3rd rail. So
I think he's now looking at that off the 8.
Yeah. The scenario there is he should have taken a little more time with the 1 and gotten the cue ball out another 6 inches. He still would have been safe.
Yep.
But it would have made his life so much easier.
I agree. Yeah.
That extra 6 inches off the rail would have been so much easier.
I agree. And I think that would have involved just him walking to the other end.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a perfect shot.
Easy now. Easy.
Almost perfect. He had a lot of spin on that ball.
Yeah.
To crash into the 8, then the rail, and still spin off like that.
Yeah,
he had some good juice.
Yeah. it's very common too when you hit that shot, you use the outside siding because we all try that and
Yeah.
it makes us feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But that outside siding was not going to help him when he crashed into the 8. You saw what happened.
Yeah.
Took away his shot in the side that was convenient.
Yep.
And here he is.
I like the
fighting
3 rail
now.
around here, right? It's a tougher shot, no doubt. But 3 ball cut down to the bottom right-hand corner, 3 around the 9 ball.
I thought he was
but
looking
you're
at the
playing
side.
tight.
I thought he was looking at the side and having the cue ball go. I don't know. Like he could go either way, but you see how fidgety he is. He doesn't like either way.
No. It's a tester no matter which
Yes,
way
100%.
he decides to play it, but hits it like
Oh,
a champion,
how did that work?
gets the jelly rub in his favor.
Oh yeah.
And
That's the issue. Is that table was really golden, but the first shot was the one.
It was the key.
He
Yeah.
truly needed to pay more attention to the 1 ball because the 2 wasn't like really, really good because the 3 was in line with it, right?
Yep.
Now he's back in, but it took him 3 shots to get back in, not
Yep.
1, 3.
I agree. What's going on, Mr. Norm Doucette? Pleasure seeing you this weekend as always. Well, and to hold serve through the whole match, that might be a tougher challenge than
Yeah. Yeah, you've got it.
anything, right?
Just for you to hold serve through the match, you would have to see the 1 ball or 2 ball every time.
Yeah.
And because they make the 1 ball as many times as they do off the break, now it's just random where that 2 ball goes.
Correct.
Because they rack the 2 at the back of the pack,
Yeah.
and the 2 becomes very, very random, and it just could finish on any side of the table with all
Yeah.
the kisses. The two ball probably gets the most kisses than any ball.
Yep. I would agree.
But these
So
guys
for,
these guys are doing well.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh, nice.
Lunch is served.
French fries. So like Grant said, they are holding serve. They each won the game that they broke.
Haven't seen a table run yet, but I'm sure we'll see a few of those happening.
No. Didn't Joe just win the table run? He
Did
broke
he?
and he had the 1 and he found a way out.
Oh, yes. That
Yeah,
is
Joe,
that is
Joe
right.
just broke and ran. He just made
Yeah.
it a little tougher. That's all.
I thought that was, I don't know why I thought that was Steven's run there.
That was
Or
his break.
Steven's break, I should say. 6 ball in, 1 ball looking to dress.
1 over the same pocket as he had last time, but it's trapped.
in jail.
It's trapped.
Complete
So in this
jail time.
scenario, unfortunately, the 3. If the 2 was on the back rail, he would just push out, making the 1. But because the 3's the next ball, it's very troublesome to make the 1 and call a push out.
So I think I'm going to play the cue ball back down off this end rail here. Split between the 1-9.
Maybe. But that's the only place you'd probably successfully be able to see
Yeah.
the 1 ball.
Because in my opinion anyway, it gives me a better chance of getting a shot back. Because there's no way that Joe can make that. And playing the cue ball off the 1 like that with the 6 there, the cue ball has a good chance of sticking there. Where the 1 ball goes off and sticks because of the 3.
Because of where the 1 ball and the 3 ball is, there's going to be a lot of luck on these push out and whoever attempts to take the 1 ball on.
Yep.
There's going to be more luck involved. It's not going to be a skillful hook because they really don't know from distance where the 1 ball is going to end up. Is the 6 ball going to muscle the cue ball one way or the other?
Yep.
So I think he might even be thinking about pushing out but making the 3 ball to make more of an opening there.
'Tis true.
And there you have it. So he left the line that Grant was talking about, but he took the 3 out of play. And now it adds a little more skill, less randomness.
Although I
yeah.
think this might be an actual easier safety now for Joe. If he plays into the 1, checks into the 6, hold the cue ball, and just send the 1-2 rails back down behind the 5 ball.
100%. But I believe Steven was willing to take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to getting trapped or being given back a shot that went bad for him in his push out.
Yeah.
Because it like
Joe
you,
gave it
like you
back.
said, that 1 was trapped.
Wow, Joe gives it back.
And it's possible that he can't not double kiss the 1 ball. I can't see from here. I like the shot that you talked about. That's what I would have seen right away.
Just
And
like
there-
this.
Yep, just like that.
Oh,
and there's the rub, the killer rub.
Got the bad side, but I mean the right in my opinion, the right shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what it was, that Joe thought it was going to be hard to control that one ball.
Yep.
Now, he could have played to freeze the one ball in the back rail.
Yep.
And kind of to heck with the hook.
Yep.
Most
just
guys,
a separating
most
safety,
guys
right?
don't like to play safeties. They want to bring the snooker or the hook into play, right?
Yep.
Because safeties a lot of times are not good enough.
Yeah.
Guys bank balls where they safe you right back, and
That's
then you're in jail.
Yeah. He says, came for the Wirecast demo. I think I've got that fixed. Y'all have to let me know. I don't see it any longer. We should be good from here.
Joe makes the one natural. Now he's probably going to snap this back about 3 feet and not come all the way back, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. I think he's got the right angle. He can kind of float towards that side pocket or draw towards that side pocket.
That's good then. That'll be a lot easier if he's got a little angle to work with.
Oh.
I think he had less angle, and he probably wanted to come back another foot, but he's probably reasonably happy with that.
Yeah.
He's just going to play the
natural angle.
Like the safety scenario when you leave the 9 ball there and you're like, oh, I didn't play shape on it.
Yep.
Just make the ball and let the cue ball freeze on the back rail as a backup. They play these shots all the time.
Yeah, job well done.
And he played it just like as if he was just potting the 9 ball only. It was the last ball on the table. And just got the cue ball to that back rail. Oh, that's got to hurry.
He should be okay here. 2 rails for the 9, same pocket.
Here's the difference, though. Remember how the distance he has here, a professional would not have accepted that.
No, I agree.
A professional would have got that 2 feet closer at least.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the amateurs and the pros, is that
tight cue ball.
They don't accept shape, they go get shape.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And
I
Joe
agree.
really did not get shape there, and now look what he's got.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a absolute gimme.
No, this doesn't
even
have
though
to go.
It's a high percentage shot, but it's not a gimme because he left himself harder on the 7 than he wanted.
Yeah.
Joe's a ball potter, though, so.
He can pot from anywhere.
And she goes.
And how are you, Mr. Jacobson? Good to see you back on. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And while you're here, do us a favor. Hop on over to our Facebook page. Give us a like and a follow. We have been so desperately trying to crawl over the 50,000 follower mark for what seems like forever. And I would really, really appreciate it if we can get us over that mark. It's been a personal goal of mine since I started.
Nice.
Yeah. So Joe taking a 3-1 lead over Mr. Holem. And it is his break looking to extend that lead.
Joe took the break back. Not only won that game of Stevens, but now breaking himself.
One gets a little bit of a rub.
2 rubs.
A couple of them for sure. So where do you push to here?
Yeah, he put the cue ball on the opposite side of the table, which is rare.
Yeah.
Usually the cue ball stays on the side of the table that you broke from. So he let the cue ball go, and it actually had a chance to scratch, but did not. It didn't come within 6 inches, but it had
potential.
Yeah, and if he would have left the cue ball on the side of the table he broke from, he would have had a shot.
Yeah, and I think that was, at least from my perspective, I believe that is just a little bit of a misclick on the break where he went across the face of the 1 ball as opposed to into the side of the 1 ball.
It's also possible that he missed the cue ball, because when you break at like 80 to 95%, and so it's one of the harder shots you'll ever hit.
Yeah.
And if you hit the cue ball with the tip of your cue by a quarter of a tip, it will deflect at that speed the cue ball a full half an inch to an inch by the time it reaches the 1 ball.
Yeah.
And that could have been what happened as well.
Yeah, and it's amazing how minute those...
Yes. When you hit it hard, everything amplifies, including the pocket amplifies smaller. When
There's
you hit it hard.
really not a great place to push out to here, right? Perhaps it's 2 rails down where the rack is. I mean, you're going to leave him a shot there, but playing position from that point on to the 2 ball can be difficult.
Right where he's looking now.
Yeah.
Because he forces him to make it, and the 2 ball, he won't be able to get back to the 2.
Yeah.
Very easily, right?
If he comes anywhere past the 4 ball after making the 1.
Yeah, he's going to make it. He's going to make it very hard for Steven not so much to pot the 1, although it is a hard pot, but to play shape on the 2.
That's right.
And then he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind if Steven makes the 1. If he can't get on the 2 ball, it's a successful push out.
Yeah. Now, Steven does have, obviously, capabilities of potting it at pocket weight speed, which would then, at least from where I sit, would give him shape on the 2 ball. But extremely difficult shot. You're somewhat shooting off the beach.
1 inch off the rail, or 2 inches off the rail, and he's got an 8-foot shot here. I think he's better to stroke it a little harder and try to hit the 4 ball.
True. Yeah,
2 rails, try to hit the 4, and that would be a more successful scenario. He overcut it by quite a bit, and that's why he didn't get to the 2nd rail.
Did he get away with it, or can Joe go rail first for the 1? I don't know if he can see full into the 1.
Yeah.
He is looking at the rail first.
Might have got away with it. Either way, Joe gave, with his push out, gave Steven enough grief that Steven was not confident with the shot for sure, because he didn't even come within 5 inches of the hole.
Yeah.
Not even within 5 inches of the horn.
Didn't even scare it.
And he was trying to make it.
Yeah.
And this is the best player in the room.
Yeah.
So that shows you that Joe left him tough.
Yep.
That's what it shows you.
Well, thank you, Chad. It is one of those events every year, even as jet-lagged as what I am. It's not one I will never not play in, and I will always be here for. Great shot.
Here comes the reward.
Fully rewarded.
Wow.
Yeah, well done.
If that would have held back another foot or 6 inches, he'd have been golden, but still a great.
I think he's still okay here. He can
great
draw.
Outcome. Yeah, safety.
Yeah.
He's got a total safety opportunity here. And before, he probably would have been hooked behind the 6 ball.
Is he going to play safe, or is he just going to play the 2 in?
I think he's playing safe.
He is.
Not he doesn't fluke it. Oh, when he cut the horn, he didn't want that either.
No, and now it's sitting pretty ducky for a nice little hop over the 6 ball from Steven here.
Steven might kick it too.
I think with that proximity, he's going to go over top.
If he only has half a ball or less, I agree. He'll jump it.
Yeah. And, I mean, he hits the jump so well.
So many guys do now.
Yeah. Well, the jump cues and the technology, the advancement of, really doing some pretty amazing things with capabilities nowadays.
Well, you can see he's got to get up and over real quick because he's really up on the table to give himself elevation with that shaft.
Yeah, he's darting.
Yep.
Usually you don't see him dart.
And there you go.
That is the danger of darting.
So the scenario was, if you had a quarter of a ball to get over, it would have been way easier. He might have had, hard to tell from our angle, he might have had 3/4 of a ball to get over, and that would have been the difference of how high he had to get up, how less control he would have had with the outcome of the cue ball after he hits the 2.
Well, and I think it's pretty telling that he had to dart, so he probably had more of that ball to get over than what we kind of assumed. But
and he was right-handed there.
Yeah.
It turns out the table did not, the angle he left him, a left-hander would have had a noticeably easier chance at where the right-hander actually had to get their body up on the table to be able to stroke it.
Uh-oh. A little short here, short of pace. Was worried about that side pocket.
Yeah, he could have taken the 6 on. I think it's nice enough that he could have just taken the 6 on and only let the cue ball move a foot to 18 inches.
I agree.
He decided to go get that shape, and he came up short. I think that's
being Joe's capability of potting from pretty much anywhere. I would suspect this 6 is really not going to pose too much of an issue.
Well, but
I like the
on
top
the
right. I like the top right.
He's looking both sides. This is not golden for him.
I like the top right for this only because I know that I can pull back, go 2 rails, come out to the right side of the table for the 7 into the top left.
Yeah, maybe.
He's back cutting and going to try to hold, and that's the touch I personally don't like.
Yeah.
Right, and that's because of the shake I have in my arm.
Gotcha. He did exactly what you said, but he went the other way. He went 2 rails to get in around the other side. Also, he's right-handed, so he's a little more comfortable with that shot because if he shot the other way, he would have had to go get his body all the way to the other side of the table.
Yes.
And a little bit of a stretch, right?
Yeah. But again, back cutting to the blind pocket, to me, is a much harder shot than visually being able to see the pocket that I'm playing
You're right.
into.
For most people, that's true. They don't like the blind pocket.
Yep.
For most people. Now, if you get over that, or if you practice it 200 times,
Yes.
and then you decide to practice it a dozen times every day after you have your 200 shot practice session, then it probably becomes a lot easier.
Most certainly.
Similar to Alan Wang right now, who I believe is the most improved player in Alberta.
Yeah, I think he's kind of taken over that title from Larry Walper. Larry's game, obviously, his game jumped by leaps and bounds.
Yes, I
and
agree.
he's now achieved kind of a really decent level.
Yeah.
But I think Alan, over the last year, maybe year and a half, his game's just skyrocketed.
His break is fantastic.
Yep.
Like, every part of his game is solid.
Yeah, he's very routine.
If not very good.
Yeah, very routine. Looks like they're taking a break. While they're doing that, if you want to jump in on the next event here at the Leather Pocket, it will be the Fall Classic. That is happening December 1 to 3rd. It's going to be 10 ball, both sides, A and B side. A side will be on the 9-foot, B side will be on the 7-foot. It is a staggered entry fee and capped at 64 players. So that event will fill up fairly quickly.
Yeah, that'll also be a very good event.
It will be, yeah. We'll stream that one as well.
And they're doing, what are they, 10 ball? Did you say, I didn't hear it? You say 10 ball on the A side, 10 ball on the B side,
Correct.
with different size table?
Yep. So A side is the 9-foot, B side is going to be the 7-foot. But again, both games will be 10 ball.
Right.
And you can email e-transfer if you're in Canada, bdfrancis2@gmail.com. He's going to be the guy running it, which of course is Mr. Ben Francis himself. And while these guys are on break, why don't we put up a few pictures of the man that we are remembering today, Mr. Hooey himself.
There you go.
Captain Calgary, as he's called, or also known as. He was the captain of Barry's team, which is consistent of the players we're watching now, which is Joe, Steven, Ben Francis, Johnny Triple P, and Mark Vinogradov. 4-time Vegas Masters champions, I would say consecutive, and in our book it was consecutive. It's only not because of the year that we couldn't go down for
They
COVID.
couldn't go because of COVID.
Yeah.
They didn't know. I don't think they allowed Canada in, did they?
No, Canadians couldn't cross the border.
The U.S. and maybe some other countries were allowed to go, but Canada was not.
No, we were excluded.
And that's how it goes. I mean, that was just another one of the 300 goofy rules governments decided to make during COVID, or the whatever you want to call it.
During the Rona.
Yeah, during the influenza
Pandemic.
virus.
Yep.
Virus.
So smart decision here, I think, from Steven, trailing 4-1 now behind Joe, utilizing his break. Each player does get a 5-minute break throughout the match. Yeah.
And if Joe was smart, he would not take a break.
Not at this point.
No,
right?
I mean,
You're
I
rolling.
mean, not like let Steven stew. If things don't work, and Joe holds his 3-game lead, or even gets to 4, and he's getting close to the finish line.
Yeah,
I would
break.
not take a break if I was Joe,
I agree.
because Steven will want to refocus again, and if Joe doesn't let him, that would be more advantageous.
Well, and it can take Joe out of his own
correct
mental state, right?
That's right. You never want to change what's working.
That's it.
Even
if it ain't broke, you don't
Even if
fix
it's
it.
unorthodox or doesn't feel right, if it's working, let it happen and fix it
stick
later.
with it. Yeah.
You can fix it later, but let it happen, because if it's working, it's good for you.
It's true. Who is on? Excuse me. Who is the second on the mic with you, Grant? That is Sean McKay. In the house, and now on the mic.
Eating French
Which,
fries.
believe me, I appreciate. It can get very difficult to sit up and do commentary by yourself for hours on end.
I would think.
So I appreciate it whenever I can get a guest in.
Lots of good players out here. It looks like it's 4-2 for Ben in the 8-ball. Remember, this is a 9-foot 9-ball on the A side, 7-foot 8-ball on the B side event, and which is kind of fun to play both.
Yeah.
And right now, Ben Francis and Brady Golan are playing.
It is 4-2. Ben Francis over Brady Golan.
Brady's at the table.
We've got Alan Wang and Kevin Osborne doing battle as well. They're deadlocked to a piece.
I would like to have seen Allen keep playing, like not winning, but see his game to see if his game kept going, or if he just got fortunate and everything was working for him like golden. Sometimes that happens. You become a better player and you can handle things. You break better. Other times you just happen to have a great match.
Yes.
And it's in your favor.
Yep.
And then you falter the very next match because you overdid yourself.
Correct. You got too many blessings from the pool gods.
Yes, you got a lot of blessings. And sometimes that happens, right?
It does. Yeah. I've had the fortune of that happening. And then the misfortune of
playing somebody that it happened to them.
It just did, right? And I can't take anything away from Mike and his own ability. Mike Pringle Isaac from BC. But when I ran into him, he was a freight train.
Yeah.
Right? His breaks were just unbelievable, and he never missed a single ball.
Very little you can do. Brady's just waving at us from inside the window here.
He's asking if it's his break, and I'm like, well, not really sure, Brady.
But he's taking a break.
He is taking a break.
So, oh no, he's racking.
Mr. Steve, how are you, sir? I was surprised to not see you coming up to play in this event. Steve Kyriakakis. Steve K. Now located down in Lethbridge, I believe.
Yeah, he started in Lethbridge, and I think he found his way back there again.
Yep. Was in Calgary for a little bit, and then...
minus the wind, Lethbridge is a wonderful town.
Yes.
Wonderful town.
Yeah.
If you can handle the wind, because it's excessive there sometimes.
It sure is. It is the Chicago of Alberta.
Oh, is it ever?
Yeah.
Steven's back, and he's ready to break.
Still recovering from back surgery. Yikes. All right, Steven with the break. See if he can chew away at this deficit. Does make a ball. Will the one dress?
Yeah. Perfect control. The
really
one ball was going to the same corner pocket he usually does, but it got bumped in his favor the other way.
Yeah.
Either way, I think he would have had a shot at the one.
Yeah. Well, and the two's not a difficult one to get on, at least from my perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Straightforward on the
he
one ball.
Really good here.
Yeah.
Really good.
I wouldn't try to go flirtatious and come around a couple of rails. I'm just going straight, perhaps a touch of left.
He might try to crash on the 5 almost with some right-hand siding. If he misses the 5, no problem. And he decided to play maybe even the 2 in the corner, which is fine.
Yeah, that'll work.
3's kind of over the side.
Yeah, and even if he hits and sticks on the 2 ball, the cut angle on the 3 into that right side, he'll crash the 6, sit for 4, and pretty much run to the table from there.
He might not even need to crash the 6 if he's got a fine cut. He'll just let it bounce off the rail 2 feet and have the 4. The 4 is very available.
It is.
The opposite. He's going to go
either scenario.
One side of the table to the other. It's all about options when these guys play.
Yeah.
There's often 2 ways to play the shot. One guy can see it one way, the other guy sees the other way, but absolutely they both work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, same as commentary, right? I can call it one way. Same as last match. I called the shot that Steven would play, and he played the complete opposite of what option I decided
just because
I would play.
That's how he saw the shot.
That's it.
When you get options, or also a lot of times if you're a big stroker and you've hit some tap shots too often, you want to let your stroke out.
Yes.
So then somebody will let their stroke out when you're not expecting that he's going to do that.
Agree.
Just because he's had enough of this tap.
Yep. See, and I think he may crash the 6 here just to push the 6 a little bit closer or further down the rail.
The thing is, though, if he crashes the 6, the cue ball might actually take the place of the 6.
Yeah.
And he'll have to shoot the 4 from the rail. He might not have any choice, though. He might have no choice. He might have to hit the 6 ball.
Yeah, just a nice little nudge. Didn't want to come from behind, though.
Now, you see what happened there? The cue ball stayed on the rail because of that. And now he has to accept much harder attempt to play position, not only on the 5, but then the 5 to the 6.
Well, the really unfortunate part of that is I think he is pretty much straight in on this 4 ball.
Oh, boy.
Right? And if that's the scenario, it makes getting from the 5 to the 6 that much more difficult.
Oh, yeah.
And you're welcome, Bill and Aurora. Appreciate you tuning in.
If it's not straight in, he's noticeably better. He'll be able to come off the rail with the cue ball if it's not straight in.
Yeah.
The way he's stroking it, it looks like he's not straight in.
Yeah, really nicely done there. 2 rails around the 8 ball, down to the bottom right-hand side of the table.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful with those when you're crashing on a ball, that you really pay attention to not just where the cue ball is going, but where the object ball is going as well.
Yeah.
He never imagined the 6 was going to end up that tough for him.
Nope.
He thought it would just maybe come off the rail a foot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Instead, it moved probably 2.5 feet and an angle directly in line with the ball.
Well, and I didn't suspect that he would actually get behind the 6 to push it away from the rail. I thought it would come down rail.
You thought he'd cut it. He'd hit
Yeah.
the 6 before the rail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicely done. 3/4 of the way down the table, and he's sitting perfect.
Yeah.
Nice angle just to draw out here.
He's good again. Yeah.
Draw kind of straight up the table.
That's the difference with the pros and the amateurs, is the pros adapt noticeably better than the amateurs. When we get out of line, which we do all the time, the pros adapt better.
Yeah.
Amateurs do not. Just a stun bottom and up table a little bit. And this is a perfect example of what people should practice right here.
Yep.
The 9 or the 10 ball on a 9-foot table finish so often behind the spot, don't move much more than a couple of inches, especially 10 ball. So you should practice this down table shot playing on a ball right behind the spot regularly.
Yes.
Because you get this shot so often.
Well, and so the mentality I have in that shot is I don't have to think I have to come all the way down table. I'm only coming just past the side pocket.
Right. And
right?
that's
Anywhere from there to about, where he's at now, and
And where Steven ended up, unfortunately, is exactly where most of us amateurs do, is we miss our line or our weight control, and we have 5 times harder a shot than we wanted, even though it's still makeable.
I agree. To the heart of the pocket.
Well done, Steven. But that's a very good lesson for amateurs out there. When you're playing 9-foot pool, that money ball stays behind the spot on a regular basis, and if the 8 or the 7 or the 9, whatever is the last ball before that money ball, is on the other side of the table, you should be practicing just that position shot specifically.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So Dave says, curious, over 50 watching and 4 likes on YouTube. What's not to like? Great commentary, great pool. Thanks for doing this, Grant, and the rest of your team. Anytime. It takes certainly more than just myself. Obviously, with Ben playing, he typically plays more than commentates in any given match, and I'm okay with that. That allows me to bring in Sean. It allows me to bring in staff and, a few other guests. So it is certainly more than just myself. I appreciate the compliment. More so for those tuning in on YouTube, as Dave alluded to. Give us a like. That will always push us up in the queue. And you can always copy and paste out the link to the stream. Share it with all your friends. Whether you think they like pool or not, you never know which one may be a closet pool junkie. And Sean and I, of course, will keep them entertained.
Yep.
As best as we can.
Joe has made the wing ball, and I think another ball as well.
Yep, a couple.
And he's really good to get started here. The 4-5 is going to be the issue.
I agree. And it's got to be 2 to the 4.
But I think he can leave the cue ball very close to where the 1 is right now, and then play a top left cut and shoot the 4 ball in the side by the 7. Or up to the back, the bottom left corner. He'll have 2 pockets to play on.
Touchy shot here, though. This is not one you want to take for granted. Now, the top left-hand corner is certainly a big pocket, the same as the side pocket. So really, it's get that cue ball just about to the second diamond up.
Yeah, it's
on that right side.
It's quite good that you look at a diamond on the table and really try to hit that diamond with your line, right?
Yep.
Then it's all weight control. Once you get that line, it's all weight control. I don't know what he's doing here.
He's going forward.
Well, the
Interesting.
4 must go past the 5 in the side, I guess.
Interesting.
It must.
Either that or he's just going to play straight safety.
I don't know why he'd do that, because he still had control. And he could have kept control by running the balls out. That 4 ball is a side pocket's quite large.
It has to go.
Yeah, it must go. And I think he was looking at it.
All day it goes.
Yep.
Really nice shot.
He had the whole hole because he almost missed it on the
On the far side.
On the far side, right?
Yeah.
So he's done well. He obviously, from where we're sitting, we can't see if that ball, and we would naturally have thought it didn't go there.
Yeah.
Unless you're at the table looking. You would
7
think it's
is
not there.
now the bigger issue on the table. I can't tell.
I don't think it's frozen.
It's not frozen, but
If it's not frozen, it's not an issue because you can just play a slow shot or a stop shot and just shoot the 9 opposite. Right? Just get down table and shoot the 7 in the side.
I think it's too far down to play that into the side,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe you're right.
I think he's got to go into the corner with
You
it.
could be right. Once again, I can't tell from here. If the 7 is an inch off or a half an inch off the rail, it's a duck. If it's not, it's a worry.
Well, we're about to find out.
I think it's the duck part.
I think so. Must be.
Yep. So it would have been not a non-issue because he's still
He's looking pretty winky-eyed at it.
Yeah. He might have wanted to get a little closer.
Yeah,
So he could
I
roll
still
it.
think you. I think you got to play this to the top corner, in my opinion.
You would think he would have already made that decision, whether he wanted the corner or side. I think he's shooting it in the side pocket, and he's going to play a
Those
stop
tend to
shot.
spit out so often. Yeah, really touchy.
See, that's what he wanted to do, but he wanted angle, so when he made it, it could just bounce off the rail 6 inches and have a duck 9. And because he probably got really straight, that was the issue. It was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, now I've got a kind of tough ball, and I'm straight, and I want to roll it. That's what you don't want. But he did the best he could, and he's got a shot at the 9.
To the heart of the pocket.
Makes
Man,
it
these
again.
guys, I'll tell you, they certainly make it look easy, don't they?
Yeah, they're the
'Cause for
they're
me-
the strongest players in Alberta. These
Yeah,
days. No
100%.
question. No question.
100%. And, they make it look so easy. Even though somebody like myself, I'm dying over that shot.
Yeah.
Right? That's not my favorite shot to take on.
Well, he made it look easy, I guess. So,
Yep.
and
And
definitely,
and maintains his 3-game cushion.
yep.
Which is important, right? From Joe's perspective, if you give Steven any kind of life, that can completely
Yeah, Steven
change
or any
the
strong
dynamic.
player, you don't want to give them confidence, right?
No, keep them in their chair.
Yeah, and not just that, but keep them guessing. You
Yeah.
don't want their back arm feeling loose.
Yes.
You want their back arm a little questionable, a little
Yeah, a little tight. Yeah,
right? That's what you're hoping for. And of course, you're probably not hoping for that. You're just hoping that you outplay your opponent,
yes,
right? But if you can't outplay your opponent, you play him safe.
yep.
Keep him off the table.
Well, now that I've got 7 weeks here, I think I might put a little bit of time in on the table. Prior to this event, I hadn't picked up a cue for at least 2 months.
Oh,
But now that I'm here, I'm going to play in the Fall Classic.
right. That's
and,
a good one.
And put some time on the tables.
I think they have another event at Hidden Spot, some kind of a 6 to 80 event.
Perhaps, yeah.
I don't know much about it. I think Mark V has tried to run something. There's different pool halls trying to run things. Top Shots used to have a fall event. They don't anymore. Now they're leaning more towards the big event they have.
Yeah, the Wild
in
Rose.
no, not that. The
No?
big one in the spring, May Long Weekend. They have a Predator event, like
Oh, yeah.
$25,000.
Nice.
Yeah. So different places. Here we are, Leather Pocket, and this is a high quality room with maybe the best equipment you can have. Diamond tables, both 8 and 9 foots, and Predator balls. That's about as top quality equipment that you could ask for.
And it's Predator cloth.
And is it? I didn't know that.
It is, yeah. Predator cloth, diamond tables, Predator balls, and they keep the room pretty clean.
Well, Stephen was forced to play a safety because he couldn't quite see the 2, and I believe
Really well done.
he was successful. Almost a little too hard.
It
as
was.
He might have fluked the 2 ball
Yeah.
at that angle, which a guy doesn't really think about that, but you just think about not allowing the ball to come all the way, chase the cue ball around the table
Yeah.
too much, right?
Yeah.
Which is what was happening, but
Well,
Stephen let the cue ball outrace it.
Does Joe try to take a flyer here? I mean, you got to hit it's a wide open table.
Yeah.
There's really not a safety play that you're going to try for.
A jump and stop is a winning formula, and anytime that is, you have to consider it.
Yeah.
And he's got a borderline stop shot for a jump shot. It might fade a little bit towards the middle, but I think it's only going to fade a foot at most. So if he's successful here, he will have a shot at the 3.
Almost.
He missed it. Does he get the weight control safety? I don't think so.
No, that's going to sit ducky. Ducky for Steven.
The only issue is it's really almost in the jaws and close to the rail. It's going to be noticeably harder to control the cue ball. He's probably going to come off the rail, most likely, because it's the easiest way to control that. But then the cue ball is going to be moving a little quicker maybe than he'd like. I don't know.
This looks like 2 rails out from here, from my perspective anyway.
Yeah, then you have to almost have a natural angle, or you might not get on the 3 exactly how you want.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
think
of
he's got to load up.
Miss.
Yeah, it's load up with left.
See what happened here is
Yeah.
he totally. It was not easy to get the cue ball back out because it was so close to the rail and almost in the jaws that there was no easy way to control that cue ball out of that pocket.
To be honest, Scotty, I've never played on the Andy cloth. I've heard good things, but I don't know that I've ever played on a table that has.
Never played on it either.
Yeah. Now I'm curious about it though.
Oh, big bank!
Wow.
Big bank by Steven. And he went for it too.
Yeah, there was no.
He brought the cue ball out in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
It was kind of a no messing around. I'm going to bank this thing or live or die on this shot. And
That's it.
Right in the middle.
And you know
Right
the part of that I do respect. I've seen him do that a couple of times when he commits to it. There is no turning back, right? He commits to it 110%.
Well, that's what commitment is, really.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Well, I mean,
I commit to the shot, but then it's still, well, should I play safety? Right?
Nah, that's not a full commitment.
It's not a full
and you
commitment.
know what happens when you when you start thinking about
it every time.
both the scenarios. You fail on one, and you hope it's not the one that's going to hurt you.
Well, if you don't commit to one, you fail on both.
Yeah. It's easy to fail.
Yeah.
So it's either commit or take the problem. Steven's kind of in between here. I think he can slow roll this. He probably can stun bottoms and get on the 7. I think he can.
Maybe a touch of right hand just to kind of help alleviate the cut angle. And just a nice.
Yeah, he slow rolled.
Perfect.
He's good. Yeah, he had no problem. It's hard to tell here, unless you're out at the table seeing the angle. That little bit of extra angle in the side pocket can be tricky, but he was good, and he made it look as easy as it probably was.
From our perspective.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I never miss a ball from back here.
Well, without a cue in your hand, it's hard to miss a ball.
It so is. I bat 1,000% back here. But I'll tell you, you put yourself in the scenario of being in the A final on a stream table, playing both strong players, and those key shots, they can hold some weight. It feels like the weight of the world on your shoulders, but these guys handle that pressure really, really well.
Well, that's why they're here, right? Because they've shown that they do handle that pressure. That's why they're technically the favorites in this tournament. Both of them found their way to the A final, not losing yet, and both of them playing quality pool in front of everybody. That's why they're here.
And the pressure is real, no question. For both of them, right? I mean, they're both teammates.
Yep. Another win for Steven.
Both Road Dogs brothers, right? Part of Barry's team. So both of them really, really want the win. And I think it's the difference maker of the fact that Steven's won this twice and Joe has not yet. And I think that makes Joe just that extra touch more hungry for the win than perhaps what Steven is.
Yep, the more motivated guy or more hungry guy often concentrates a lot better.
Yeah, the will to win, right? Yep. You find a way.
You want it.
Yeah.
One guy wants it more than the other.
So an update here for Alan and Kevin Osborne. Deadlocked again, 3-3.
So that's 3 breaks in a row now for Joe that the cue ball went to the opposite side of the table.
Yeah.
I
He does
think,
get away with it this time.
Well, he did last time too. So I think he's getting more comfortable with that having the cue ball advance to the other side of the rack.
Yep.
He hasn't scratched yet. In these scenarios, I think the cue ball is coming back far enough before he has the top spin that it's not going in the side. And he's good again. So I think he's probably going to be playing that break for the rest of the while unless it fails.
I would agree. It's the opposite of what most players play.
That's right. Most successful players.
Yes.
There's willy-nilly breakers,
Yeah.
guys that really have no plan.
Yeah.
And then there's guys that legitimately have a plan. Oh, Joe, it's got to hurry.
I think he just got there.
Oh, boy, that was tight.
That was really, really tight.
But I think he's there because he's walking around the table like he's hungry. So
yeah. And thank you, David. Yeah, Ben winning 6-3.
Yep. Ben beat Brady Golan 6-3.
Yeah.
Ben advances, and Brady, I believe, gets maybe 5th, 6th. I'm going to say 5th, 6th is what he got.
Yeah.
So Joe had to pretty much accept the straight-in shot, which is no problem. Now he might have to just let the cue ball float to the left side of the table as we're looking at it and shoot the 7 in the corner. Unless he wants to snap it back, which I can't see, but he might be loading up for bottoms.
I think so. Nice little pinch. Yeah, well done.
Well, he didn't snap it back, but he definitely dug in. And he's good. He's good. The only
Forward
issue
with some right.
The only issue about what he just did there is that he gets really close to the 7 ball.
Yes.
And you only have to miss by 1 foot coming across the table, and you're in trouble.
Yep.
And
well, and even here, right, by being that close, you make shaping the 8 ball a little bit tougher.
And here you have the exact thing we talked about before. The 9 ball, the money ball, is directly behind the spot, and he has to play position on that ball again. And he has gotten fortunate.
It's perfect.
Very fortunate, because he's technically too close to the 9 ball, but he's golden. His weight was perfect.
Yep.
But I guarantee you he did not want to be that close to the 9 ball.
No, for sure. I think his intention certainly was to come off the bottom rail, right?
Yeah.
Play it off both rails, but certainly not that close to
But once again, the money ball was right behind the spot. The last ball, whether it's the 7 or the 8, was all the way down table, and he had to find a way to play position. And that's just something that people should be practicing, is that exact shot.
Yeah.
You should almost come in and practice it 6 or 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Because you just get it so much.
Yeah. Some pretty sound advice, Mr. Sean.
You don't have to practice things a lot. You just have to practice the right things a little if you want to get better. If you're not good at jumping and you don't, for some reason, just hit 8 or 9 jumps a day. Success or no success, you get a feel for it.
Yeah.
You know what you can do and you can't do. Or if it's position play, or if it's breaking or banking balls or fine cuts. You don't have to practice it a lot, but you do have to give a little bit of extra effort.
Yeah.
If you ever want to get better in this game, you have to practice what you're not good at.
Quality versus quantity.
You're not going to get better at practicing what you are good at because you're already good at it. And you can only get so much better at what you are good at.
Yeah.
But you can get a lot better at what you're not good at.
Well, and I think there's a mental side to that as well, right? If you become acclimated or, better to...
People like success, right?
Yeah, better understand.
So you practice what you're having success with. So if you play bottoms really well, you'll just keep playing a lot of bottoms. You come in and practice, you put bottoms on the ball a lot.
Yep.
And you won't put tops on it because you're maybe not as successful with top-spin. But that's what you need practice with.
Yeah.
Because
there was a long time when I first started playing that putting draw on a ball was mission impossible for me. Right? But put the time in. Now it's not or it wasn't terrible prior to my shake. Now it's outside influences that affect me more than anything. But
well, long story short, if you want to get better, practice with what you're not very good at. Of course, keep hitting balls at the things you are good at to to maintain your.
Well, that was an interesting
Oh,
choice.
Steven.
He kind of decelled in that shot.
Yes, he did not bring it back 1 inch. I think he wanted to specifically bring it back 6 inches.
Yeah.
And he did not bring it back 1.
Yeah, even to get straight with the 6 is fine. You can use the cut angle to get down for the 7, but this is a little extreme. He's going to have to let the cue ball go here.
He wanted this angle, but he has left himself too much angle.
We'll bring in the 8 ball to play, perhaps even the
or
9 ball.
Oh, boy.
He gets away with it.
Yep. He did. You can tell he just gave Joe a little wave that, ooh, I got away with one.
Good stand up there from him, too. Didn't rush into it.
Yeah. I think he knew he still had the shot. He just made it so much harder. That was really the key, right?
Yeah. But good on him to stand up and, take a walk. Don't rush in after you get a little lucky.
He got a little short there. He's
Little
still working hard, and that's what happens. You take one shot for granted, and it sometimes takes 2 or 3 shots to get back in line. And the more amateurish we are, we just can't overcome that. The pros can overcome it a lot easier than the amateurs. Steven has played an amazing shot here.
Yeah, job well done there.
An amazing shot. But once again, it took him 3 shots to get back in line. He's finally back in line.
Yeah,
but he wasn't
on the ball you want to be on.
He wasn't in line on the 6, he wasn't in line on the 7, and he wasn't in line on the 8.
Yeah.
Took him 3 to get back, and he just got there.
Well, they're trading blow for blow here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a wild out by Steven, but
he made it work.
He kept it like he did what he had to do, really.
Yeah.
He just he went from being a professional position player to a professional ball potter.
That's right.
That's what he turned himself into there. And whatever, you got to adapt.
That's right. I got to give a quick shout out to Jam Up Apparel, one of the sponsors here for Q Sports Live. We have a new line coming out on Thursday. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure you go over to Jam Up, give a like and a follow there as well. And this new release is not another shirt or jacket or anything else. It's a brand new product from us, for us, that we have never released before, and I'm as excited as they get about it. We got Jam Up kicks being released this Thursday.
Yeah, the Jam Up shirts are nice. I've got 3 of them. They're very nice, very nice.
We got shoes being released this Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just in time for Black Friday.
Cool. Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So the overall concept for the shoes, the first ones, we've named all of our shoes the style after the U.S. Army. So whether that's fighter jets or
military or
we've named them all as a nod to the U.S. military for the freedoms that they allow us to have. And so the first release we've called the CL 650, and that is obviously a jet. The next one after that is the F-16. And the idea is we're going to release a new style, multiple colors, but a new style once every 2 weeks for the next 10 weeks.
Are you going to, if it's something to do with the military, are you going to have poppies on there at all?
We can add some different elements of design. We do have our first 10 designs done at this point. They are pretty phenomenal looking, right? Now, of course, my opinion is biased, but...
Yep. Well, I like the shirts you have right now, so there's no reason not to believe that these are going to be nice as well.
Yeah, they're going to be super comfortable. Some emulate some of the Nike Air Force One. There's some Yeezys that we've emulated. And part of our concept at Jam Up and kind of what we aim to do is elevate the level of expectation that we as players have in terms of how we dress. And our goal is to elevate that level, because in our opinion, even though we are not, especially in Canada and the US, we are not a recognized sport, but we certainly deserve to dress like it.
Yeah, dress for success. You want to feel good about it, whether you're in golf or pool. You want to feel good about how you look, and you look the part.
Yeah,
right. You feel better when you look the part.
Yeah, 100%. Even with our golf line, we do have golf shirts out. But we've got some pretty awesome stuff going to be coming out here with golf as well. Not sure if I would have tried that.
Joe had the kick at it. He was obviously hooked. He crashed heavily on the 9 ball. The 1 didn't go far, and the cue ball, because of the thick hit, didn't go far either, and he has sold out a great opportunity for Steven.
Yeah, and there's really the 2 to the 3 is probably the biggest tester on the table.
Yeah.
And it's not terrible. I think you hit and stick on the 1 ball, pull the 2
Well,
into
if
the
he's
side.
not, as long as he's not doesn't have the wrong angle or he's not straight.
Yeah.
Because if he has the right angle to get on the 2, it's duck soup.
Yeah.
But if he has the wrong angle, he's got a little work to do because he'll have the running away angle when he shoots the 2.
Yeah.
See, he's looking at it right now.
Yep.
How does this look if I leave myself this little bit of running away angle? And he's thinking, can I snap bottoms to come back? Or it's a different story if he's got the angle that he can get high on the 2 ball. If not, he's got work to do. And because he's still thinking, it's definitely not the angle that's tic-tac-toe.
Well, it will be interesting to see how he plays this out.
I don't know if he's going to... Well, he looks like he's digging in. He's going to play some heavy bottoms, maybe.
Maybe he's got more angle than what we think.
Oh, is that trouble?
That is big-time trouble. But does he have enough of the 2 to get by the 4 and hit and stick behind that 4 ball for a safety?
No, I think it's
Or
almost
are they
frozen.
married up?
Yeah, it's closer to married.
Yeah,
See,
that makes
that
this
shows
a
you when he
challenge.
dug in there and he took that real chance to go from the 1 to the 2 that he did not at all want to take that 2 ball with the wrong angle.
Yeah.
And now he's going to try to just play it safe. He's coming up woefully short.
But there is some distance there.
Yeah,
Joe's going to have to shoot this from uptown.
Joe's still very happy to take this on.
Oh, I'll tell you, Joe's ecstatic just to be back at the table,
Well, yeah.
right?
maybe.
That
Well,
had
I think
every
Joe
bit of
knew,
making.
even Joe in his seat, he knew when Steven was doing all that thinking that Steven did not want to leave that angle and he didn't have the natural angle on the 2 to get to the 2. And that just that one shot created real grief for Steven.
Sure did.
So he had to take a big chance and it backfired.
The question at this point is, does Joe make him pay for it?
Oh, Joe
Not at
tries
this
to
point.
roll it in, which is not bad.
Yeah, not
He just missed it. He gave Steven a chance here, but there was no problem with rolling it because he would have got
He's dead
nice
in.
position. Nice position.
Yeah.
He had 2 choices there. It was either hit it hard and have the cube go into the rail and back over behind what looks like the 6 ball, shoot the 3 in the other corner,
Yeah.
or roll it and take the position he has very close to right now.
And I think at this point in the game, right, it's close. They're within striking distance of each other, kind of that halfway point leading into, getting to that 3/4 point. And perhaps the nerves are starting to play in a little bit.
Well, if nerves are here, my opinion, it's possible, but it's probably only because Steven has made comebacks against Joe before.
Yes.
And Joe does not want that to happen again.
Yeah.
Joe probably considers himself a noticeably stronger player than when Steve was making comebacks on him.
Yep.
And that's where the nerves might come in, that Steven is putting up a fight as usual.
Yep.
And Joe does not want that comeback to happen. That would be probably the only reason there'd be nerves. But there could be because...
Well, that's it. I mean, it's a big match, right?
And if anybody has beaten Joe before more than once, it would have been Steven.
Yep.
So once again, you also have that, this guy beats me more times than I'd like scenario.
Caught that 2 ball a little bit thin. I'm sure he wanted to catch that a little bit thicker so it came a little bit higher off the end rail.
It was a failure, unfortunately. He's left Steven a golden opportunity here, and Steven is probably going to make him pay.
I would say for sure this is going to be a 6-5.
Well, that's got to hurry.
Needs a bit of a bounce.
Yeah, he's okay. He's actually pretty good, but if that would have froze on that back rail, not only would he have had trouble cueing the ball, but he would have had a very fine cut.
Yeah. Now I think he's
good
just
now.
dead good
straight
in
bottoms,
on
straight bottoms
straight
towards
draw.
the 9 and
Yep.
come up between 1 and 2 feet short of the 9 ball, and he'll have the 4. Straight bottoms is probably the ticket.
Yep.
As long as it's hard to tell in this booth, but as long as he doesn't have too much angle from where I'm sitting, it doesn't look like it, and it looks like he's digging in, so that's probably the shot he's going to play. Oh yeah,
Oh, well short though.
yeah, he had all kinds of room, almost to the point where he took it for granted.
Did he decel in that shot?
No, I think he just actually thought it was easier than it really was, and it was obviously easier than what we could see in this booth.
Yeah.
Is he going to bank this because he's going to get upset?
I think he's banking this all day. There's really nowhere to hide now.
He played the bank because
Still in trouble.
yeah. Oh no, he's okay. Now he's just going.
Oh yeah, sorry, 6
He's
ball.
going to go.
Yeah.
He's going to go back and forth here.
I thought this was the 5 ball for
Yeah.
some reason.
He's going to go back and forth, unless he wants to do a high right, slow roll a high right shot, which is possible.
Yeah, nice little drag shot off the rail.
Oh, he played a slow roll bottoms right shot.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
The drag, always difficult to execute. But he did it well.
Yeah, that's a shot I would not have liked to play. You can play it, but it's just lower percentage for somebody that doesn't play it well.
Yeah.
And I guess, like I said, if you go out and practice it 15 or 20 times, you'll get good at it. But if you don't, you stay away from it.
Nothing to do here. Slow roll that 8 in and
Yeah.
put the 9 into the top left. And be within striking distance of 1 game. And I believe it's his break next.
I think you're right. Yeah, see, he kind of got a little off angle there. Nobody wants to do what he just did. It's acceptable, but he absolutely slow rolled that ball beyond belief.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You want a stop shot, or you want a stronger
Yeah.
stroke shot.
You want to be able to put a stroke on the ball.
And if the cue ball is ever going to kick, it's going to happen when you do what he did,
Yep.
right? So, of course, he made it look easy, and it probably was, but he did not want to shoot that 8 that way. He wanted to be 2 more feet out with the cue ball and either straight in or going the other angle. But that's fine. That's what
He made it work.
Quality players adapt, right? That's what quality players do.
Yeah.
They make it work. And Grant, you're right. It is Stevens' break.
So a chance to square the match, 6-6. It then becomes a race to 3.
Stevens had a lot of success here.
And is sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Is this now starting to play in the mind of Joe Spence?
See,
Right
once
here
again,
we go again.
here, this is the
comeback.
one
right?
of the guys that's made many comebacks
Yeah.
against him, mainly because Steven is a very strong player.
Yeah, of course.
He adapts and makes comebacks if he does get behind.
Taking
Ooh,
a break.
Could be a break.
So I think that if Steven wins this game, that will definitely be in the mind of Joe. Yeah. If Joe wins, then it's only a little bit there.
Well, Joe's still got a buffer if he wins.
Yes.
2 games. They're still racing the 9 here, I
Yep,
believe.
yep.
So 2 games, and he's at 7-5. He's still a heavy favorite now.
Yeah,
right?
he can take that breath.
Yeah.
Where I think if
Where
Steven wins here,
6-6,
yeah.
Steven completed the comeback.
Yep.
Completed it.
Yep.
And Joe now feels that he has to step up his game. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And often, if you feel like you got to step up your game, Joe would be breaking next. Your arm doesn't work quite as well, and you maybe I'll give this break just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop doing where you're having success. That's what happens when you start thinking odd thoughts instead of maybe professional thoughts.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, you want to act like a professional, think like a professional, even though you're not. You want to do that because
That's the old saying.
it's
to
a recipe.
Act as if.
It's a recipe for success is to act like you know what you're doing, or like you belong there, or like you've done it before.
Yeah.
Right? And professionals have all done that. So just
Well, let's take a look at what these guys are playing for. On top of the cash, there are the trophies and the hardware, not including the jersey. The jersey does not come with the win, but you'll certainly get the hardware, plus winner will get their name on the Memorial Cup. And then, as we were talking about earlier, the next event for us here at the Leather Pocket going to be the Fall Classic, minus, of course, all the weekly events that we do have.
Yep.
But December 1st to 3rd here at the Leather Pocket for the Fall Classic. 10 ball is the game on both sides, starting off on the A side on the 9 foot. And then if you go to the 1 loss side, it'll be 10 ball on the 7 foot. Staggered entry fee, as you can see. Find your Fargo range. That's the appropriate amount that you would need to enter. And you can email transfer that to bdfrancis2@gmail.com. He'll be the man with the plan.
I think staggered entry fee is the winning recipe now.
I agree. I don't like a staggered race.
By far.
Yeah, staggered entry, I don't mind.
What I really don't like is when they do both, which is
Yeah.
a double handicap.
Yes.
Which means they stagger the entry fee, making it more expensive for the stronger player, and then they add handicap games, which makes it even harder for the stronger player. That's a double handicap.
Is that not the recipe that they use in Edmonton at the Tortola events? It's a double handicap there, right?
Yes. And I haven't seen a Tortola event in a year.
You
One year I haven't
yeah.
seen it. And they were having them almost regularly. But
They were. I actually went up. So my Fargo was a 647. Now, keep in mind, this is before the shake. This is going back in some time.
Yep.
But I decided, I want to go up and get some 9 foot experience. Went up and played in the Tortola, and I got my teeth kicked in. And dropped my Fargo now to 610, 600.
30 points.
Yep.
40 points.
Yep.
Wow.
And I cannot get it back anywhere close to what it was.
Yep. Well,
But
it
those
happens.
things happen,
It
right?
happens. Yeah. As we get older, or whatever the case may be, your eyes might start going, your nerves might start going, and people move from a bigger pool table down to a smaller 8-ball table. And it's because you still enjoy the game. You still want to play. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's just maybe we're getting a bit older.
I'm definitely getting older,
Well,
let me
me
tell
too.
you.
I'm 54 now. My goodness. Here's a fun fact for you. Barry Hooey, when he first put the dream team together,
Yeah.
came to me and asked me to play on the team.
Oh.
And I had no idea he was putting an all-star team together. I was in Red Deer, and
Yeah.
he came to me and said, will you come and play on my team in Calgary? I'm going to put a strong team together, yada, yada. And I said, I don't know, Barry. Like, this was 10 years ago, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know, Barry, if I want to drive back and forth 12 or 15 times a season, if I can commit to that. And he goes, okay, Sean, think about it. I'm seriously like to have you on the team. And then he called me again right before he completed putting the team together, and I told him, no, I don't think I'm going to. And you know the rest.
Yeah,
he
the
put
rest
it,
is
put
history.
an all-star team together that went on with such success.
Yeah. 4-time Vegas Masters champions, multiple Canadian wins. Yeah. That would have been
that's just a fun fact for you. I said no, and too
this
bad.
is one of those moments
Too bad
where
for me.
it could have been me.
Too bad for me.
Right?
But it was nice to be asked anyway. It was my choice.
Yeah.
And a quality break by Steven.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's looking good with one strong opening shot.
Yeah.
He makes this 2-ball, gets on to 3. He looks good.
I would agree. From there, it's had to wipe its feet.
Yeah, it wasn't quite clean, but it barely went in, and he now looks very good to get out here.
Yeah.
Nice angle on the 4-ball.
He weighted that actually really, really well to allow that right-hand spin to really take off of that side rail to shoot himself as far down table as what you can without hitting that 8-ball.
Yeah, he really just wanted to hold the angle. Was the most important, whether he was a foot from the 4 or 3 feet from the 4.
Yep.
He wanted to hold the natural angle so he could just let the natural position happen. And he's pretty much there. He's pretty much there.
Yeah, same here. Nothing to do. Straight up into that top rail and back out. Decides to go forward with it. You see what I mean?
Like you said, Steven sometimes likes to move the cue ball a little more because he almost gets bored.
Yep. I think that's probably
Years
it,
ago,
right?
Edmund Montel, you could see it. He gets the shakes when he played 8-ball.
Yeah.
Because 8-ball is a game of stop, turn the other way, stop, turn the other way. baby turd tap, let the cue ball float. And a big stroker doesn't like that one bit.
Yeah, I would agree.
So after you've done it 2 or 3 times, you really want to let the cue ball go.
Has he come up short here, though?
I think he just got there.
Yeah, he's all right. Just got there, but he's okay.
And once again, that was Steven almost entertaining himself.
Yeah.
Going 2 rails like that. Maybe that was the shot if you wanted to stroke it. It probably wasn't necessary, but it could have been. Maybe if you had all that angle, and then you have to let the cue ball go when you got more angle, right?
Yeah. Well, and so it begs the question, right, is with all the extra ball movement that he creates for himself, is that a help or is it a hindrance in him progressing even to be better than what he is? Or does he just apply it in these types?
I would say it's a help for sure, because anybody can make the easy shots.
Yeah.
Can you make the hard shots?
Yeah.
Can you make the 2-railer back and forth when you need to, like he just did?
Yep.
Right. If you don't do it, you won't know.
Yeah.
And more
This is
likely,
true.
also, if you don't do it, you probably can't do it. Right.
Yeah.
Because you've never done it before, so it becomes from an 80% shot down to a 20 or 10% shot.
Yeah.
Success rate. So similar to the big stroke pool players that have kind of been there and done that, and they like the big table, they let the cue ball go because it entertains them. Their back arm feels better, that they can move that back arm a lot more than that little turd tap half stroke that it takes.
Yeah, I think
for some success.
Yeah, it warms up that elbow grease just that little bit extra, right?
Yeah. And with 8-ball, for example, on a 7-foot table, you don't want the cue ball to get away on you.
Nope.
Because if you've decided, as Steven is shooting this 8-ball, once again with the 9-ball just behind the spot, trying to play that position that seems to happen so often, and now he's done really well. And by the way, if nobody's heard me say this, yes, practice that shot. That 9 or that 10 ball finishes behind the spot so often, and the ball before, whether it's the 7 or 8 or 9, if you're playing 10 ball, finishes on the other side of the table, and you've got to play to that ball. And we've seen it multiple times in this match, guys. Practice that shot.
Yep. So, as predicted, we are a tie ball game at 6 apiece. It is now a race to 3.
Yeah. And Steven has completed the comeback again against whoever. In this case, it happens to be Joe, which he's done it to him before. How does Joe react? Does he play the same break that's been working for him, or does he put another 3 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour into this, and the cue ball gets away? Let's see what happens here, because he's had 3 good ones in a row.
Oh, he does change it up.
He did change it up, and he had a ton of follow on that cue ball, and the only reason the cue ball stopped in the middle is it crashed on a ball immediately in the pack.
Yep.
Or he would have been all the way down table.
Well, and so there's half of me that looks at this table and wonders if that was not intentional to kind of create just a clustery table, slow roll it a little bit.
I don't think so. I think Joe wants to win this game. And the best chance to win this game is to break and run.
I suppose.
He wants to keep control of this table, and offense is the best control to not let your opponent to the table. So there's no question Joe wanted to break and run here, and he changed his break. He totally changed the break of the last 3 that he had success.
Yeah. Steven, does he underhit it? He totally underhit it.
He did.
I think Joe's got that one ball direct to that left side pocket.
He might have it, yeah. Joe might have an opportunity here. I think at the very least, he's probably got a safe if he decides not to go for this one in the side. I can't tell how much angle he's got. He might be able to play just a bank the 1 ball, 2 rails down table and bring the cue ball back
Behind
6 inches, stone cold behind the 2 ball.
Yep.
And that might put Steven in a position that he's not used to.
Yes.
Similar or different than what Grant was saying of change your break up and make a cluster so Steven doesn't have a wide open table. No, you would much rather, I think, keep Steven buried and stop when Steven comes to the table. He's always playing out of a safe.
Yep.
That would be a much better success.
Better tactic.
Story or tactic. There's a good word. Great
Yep.
word. Better tactic.
Well, we'll see which way he decides to play. I think he's playing this.
I agree.
I think he's going to draw this off the top rail back out for the 2.
I agree. It looks like he's digging in, and he's going to go for it. A smaller hole, but he's close enough, and he's got queuing room.
Didn't quite make it there either.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe the 3-6 combo might be an option.
He's crashing.
Yeah, he's got to crash into the 7 ball, I believe that is up top there.
Yeah.
I don't think you can avoid the 7.
I
I think you're going dead nuts into it.
Yeah, I don't know how fine this cut is. And because that 7 ball's there, that takes away that crash on the 3-6-8 and open it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you shoot it hard, you lose accuracy. And if he thinks that he can then cut this 2 with spin and go crash down there, with a breakout, you want to shoot a little harder. He loses the accuracy where he shoots the 2 in the pocket.
Yeah.
He hits the 7.
How about this shot? How about just chip off the 2, send the cue ball just beside on the bottom side of the right side pocket, underneath the bottom rail on the 9, and snuggle up under the 6.
I think it's more like he's going to bank it. I think he's staying aggressive. He went for the bank.
He did. Played the pro weight.
Yeah, he played the pro miss and the pro weight.
Yeah.
Now,
Missed on the pro side.
yeah, most people, they don't. There's a lot of people don't really understand that.
Yeah, the pro side is missing short of the pocket.
Yes, the pro side is missing on the side that the object ball will bank away from the pocket and the weight control. That'll finish kind of in the middle between the 2 pockets on that rail.
Yeah.
And force your opponent to play safe or bank his way out of trouble, right?
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Darcy? Good to see you as well, sir. We appreciate you tuning in. If you are just joining us, it is the A final for the 5th annual Barry Hooey Memorial Tournament here at the Leather Pocket. Do us a favor, give the share button a little bit of love. The more, the merrier. The guy sitting next to me on the mic, Mr. Sean Wilson.
Hey,
From
how about Sean McKay?
Sean McKay. Sorry, Sean.
Sean Wilson is another fella out of Red Deer / moved to Edmonton, and he does a lot of stuff with pool.
Yes.
I think he was with McDermott Hughes for a while.
He was,
and,
yeah.
And some kind of hot
Well,
tub.
and let's be honest,
hot
you've
tub
been
billiard.
called worse.
Well, Sean's a nice guy. Sean's not as handsome as I am, but
Well, I mean,
he is a nice guy.
You take the cake there,
Yeah. So what's a guy to do, right?
right? A Freudian slip on my part.
No worries. Got the first name right.
That's the important one.
There you go. So Joe is definitely disappointed here, you guys. Not only did he change his break, and the break turned into a little more of a cluster, but he did not get control of this table. He did not offensively take control of this table, even though he's kind of luckily, kind of not so luckily, put Steven in a bind for a safety. And when I say kind of luckily, because he wanted to bank that ball, but he missed by enough, and nobody's really playing to miss. They're playing a professional style miss, but you're still hoping to hit the hole because that's the only way to make it.
Yeah. Well, a nice effort. Not going to get rewarded this time, though.
Ooh, Steven.
Tried to get in behind that 7 ball sitting up top. Does get the reward in the sense that I don't think Joe can make the 2 past the 4.
Yeah.
And we'll see what kind of...
He might have a combo. I think he's either got a tiny piece of hole or he has a legitimate chance at a combo, but that combo would be
difficult
long
from
and
distance.
tough.
Yeah, for
Long and
sure.
tough. He might be just trying to cut this ball. Oh, he's playing the safe. Very nice. I don't think he didn't get the hook. He kind of got the safe because the cue ball is going to travel into no man's land after he makes this 2 ball, or attempts to make the 2 ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, and really with the 3-6 kind of being the way that it is, it's no give me on that combination.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean, no man's land. Even if he finishes somewhere over on that side of the table, he is not golden on that combination.
Gotcha. Oh, say hi to baby Sophia for me, Mr. Darcy.
So Joe's got Steven thinking a lot again, and that always means that you didn't leave the guy a natural.
That's right. And yes, some really good insider thought process from Mr. Sean McKay. I got it right that time.
Nice.
Did you see that?
1 in a row. He's starting a new streak here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
1 in a row.
1 in a row.
Every good streak started with 1 in a row.
It's true.
Number of bad ones, but every good one.
Hey, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
There you go.
I think this was straight safe the whole way.
Yep. But
Marrying it up
we
to
got
the
a little
5
trouble
ball.
here. Whoa, he kind of got fortunate. And I say he got fortunate because if he was 6 inches shorter from, what did he just hit that ball? 12 feet?
Yeah.
15 feet?
Yeah.
If he was 6 inches shorter, he left the 5 combo. If he was 6 inches longer, he left the cut in.
Yeah.
So that, in my opinion, and not only that, there is nothing easy about what he left him.
No.
So
not even the safe is
I'm going to
easy here.
change that. He didn't kind of get lucky.
Oh,
he
I see what Joe's doing.
100% got lucky.
Joe's going to play rail first into
Yeah.
the 2, the carom in to make the 5 ball potentially.
Yeah.
Right? And if
It's
now
got
I
a
don't-
real weight control because if he tries that shot,
Yeah,
the 2
then-
ball's going to go to that towards the 4 off
Correct.
the rail probably.
Yeah.
And he needs that 2 ball to stay on the rail.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to bounce into the 4.
Well, I'm wondering if he looked at that carom and we'll see how he plays it to play the 2 purposely high to put the 2 behind the 6 and not make the 5.
Well, I don't know. I think.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not terrible, but I think
Yeah.
Steven's got the in with some right-hand spin to break into that 3 potentially.
I don't know if Steven tries the breakout with this. I think Steven would probably still take the combo. Let the cue ball come between the 9 and the 3, come back and out, almost where the cue ball is now, and take the combo on.
Yeah. I think it's a
Because
risk either which.
Tough shot.
It is. The combo is not a gimme.
Yeah, but neither is a tough shot with inside siding.
Yes. But again, he likes to move that cue ball. But he did it your way.
Yeah, up and back, and
Now he's on the wrong side.
he is. He probably, on that shot, which is common, he had a half a tip of inside
Yeah.
and accidentally put a full tip of inside. He
Yes.
didn't put spin to break it out. He accidentally put a full tip of inside. And that's why it came out closer to the 3 instead of closer to the center of the table.
Yeah. I think it's a fairly easy safe back, though. 3 into the 6, hold the 3 there, send the cue ball around behind the 9 ball.
He could also still play the combo, but
He definitely could. And maybe he plays that as a 2-way. Play the actual combo, but the safety behind the 9, you're always going to be on the 4.
there's a couple of safes here, a couple of safe possibilities, as well as the offensive combo. The bad part about the offensive combo is the 3 might get stuck behind the 8.
Correct.
Oh, he didn't
Just
hit it.
straight safe.
He didn't hit it. No hook. Came up a foot short of greatness. And
Well-
Joe might stick it to him here.
Oh, yeah, the hit and stick here for Joe. The Pagulayan hit and stick. Or kick and stick, I guess, is the proper terminology.
Yeah, Pagalan does the kick and stick. He's got to be careful with this kick and stick.
He sure does.
He might fluke, but
But is he
He would
okay?
just call it. He would just call the 3. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
But is he
though-
okay even if
because
he mishits it
he-
because the 4-6 is not a wired up combo? I think it's into the side rail.
I think he's going to get a shot at the 4 if he accidentally makes the 3 / on purpose. Mm-hmm. Right? If he calls the 3 in the side, which I would if
Yeah, 100%.
he's kicking from behind.
Sean is great on the mic. Hire him. Sean's been on the mic with me a couple of times.
Maybe twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, but
Yeah.
twice, yeah. The scenario, he's got 2 shots here. He's got the potential kick and stick with the call the 3 in the side in case it goes in, and then he deals with the 4-6.
Yep.
Or he shoots the 3 directly into the 8 ball and plays left-hand siding or top left, and 2 rails gets back in behind the 9 ball.
Yep.
Those are his 2 shots. And
I
when
actually
I say
like-
2 shots, I mean those are the easiest 2 shots that a person could play.
Correct. I think he's going the kick. Indeed.
And he called
And he
the
made
3.
it.
Yep. I know he must have called that 3. There's no way he
He sure
wouldn't
did.
have.
Yeah. Need a shot clock. Not in this event.
No.
I have a different feel on the whole shot clock thing. I think the shot clock belongs at the pro level. It has no business being in an amateur event.
Yeah, there's probably a lot to be said about that.
There is. I have differing opinions.
You know what? I like the shot clock because I don't like slow play, but what Grant just said there has a lot of merit.
Mm-hmm.
That the pros know better.
Correct.
And I played in a pro event one time, and I don't want to name the pro I was playing, but he went into the tank for 4 minutes and 40 seconds and never even got down on the ball once.
Wow.
And I knew, no, don't go in there.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Fully
Joseph.
punished. Full punished.
Oh, that's tough. He played an aggressive combo, which was there. He didn't really control the cue ball as well as he should have.
I don't know why he blasted in as hard as what he did there. I don't know if he necessarily needed to blast that.
He might have thought that the angle it was, the 6 was going to crash into the cue ball again.
Oh, maybe.
And he wanted the cue ball out of there, right? Whatever that took. And similar to when you have a go for it shot, like when you're breaking, you just give it the extra. And the extra isn't what you usually do.
Well, and now you got to know that comeback thing is now
because
rent-free living in Joe's brain.
It's not just because Steven's making a comeback. It's because Joe has a couple of failures in there.
Yeah.
And Joe wasn't failing as much early. And those failures really hurt you in regards to the comeback.
Yeah.
Because you now feel it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not that your opponent is winning. It's you are losing.
Correct.
And that's what hurts. Nobody minds getting beat. And that's because usually your opponent played better. It's easier to accept.
Yes.
When you lose, it's because you played worse than your ability, and you have the feeling that you really failed.
Yeah.
And
now, that being said, I will say with Joe, he seems to have this extra gear when he's down like this. We saw it last night between his match with him and Jeff Wanless, where, Jeff had him dead to rights at 8-6, and Joe came back to take the match.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to use a very broad terminology when I say I'm not talking about just Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's an excellent player, and I don't think that Joe's really failing because that was not an easy shot.
No.
But it turned out to be a failure.
Yeah.
And he's going to think of it that way. He's like, other people will just say, oh, that was a tough shot, Joe, and they're right. But Joe's going to think of it as, oh, I failed.
Yeah.
I know Joe, and all the other quality players that are legitimately trying to become pros. They're going to think of it like that they failed, even though it was a tough shot, right?
Perhaps they failed the execution piece.
Well, that's it. That's the shot you got to remember. Yeah. The shot isn't making the ball.
No.
And the shot isn't playing position. It's both together. And everybody fails to understand that. They go, oh, I missed the shot here. Well, we're not just talking about potting a ball.
No,
if
it's
you
the
don't play
execution,
position,
the delivery.
If you don't play position as well as pot a ball, you failed.
Yep.
It's that simple. You've got to be able to do both. And that's the difference between a poor amateur and a good amateur.
Correct.
Right?
Well,
is that they don't understand those or they don't grasp it.
Oof, Steven in jail. Oh, and the one beside the 9 does not want that.
So Steven let the cue ball. He had how many breaks so far? And most of them was almost a dead stop.
Yep.
I even saw 2 of them that were a dead stop 6 inches from where the 3 ball is now.
Yep.
Like real control. And this cue ball went probably 8 or 10 feet further than those ones.
Yeah.
Which means he lost the cue ball. Right?
Yeah, he let it fly a little bit.
The cue ball got away on him a lot.
Pushing out.
And I think he's going to
push to the bottom rail.
He is going to test Joe here with the possible.
Oh yeah, going to tempt his tummy.
He's going to tempt him big time, because Joe is going to consider cutting that 1 in the corner and making the 9. And unlike 10 ball, you can go for either one is a bonus.
Doesn't take the bait.
And he doesn't. Good for you, Joe.
But lets it leak.
Yeah, he kind of failed there on the safety, but.
But from, I mean,
it's
you're
possible,
shooting at
it's possible
8
Steven
or 8
already
feet,
looked
right?
at it and it really wasn't there, and that's why he gave him that.
Mm-hmm.
That is very possible, that Steven already noticed that shot wasn't really available, so he left him that.
Yeah.
And that's probably also why Joe didn't even consider taking it on.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there.
Well, and it shows good patience there, right? You're not trying to force something that isn't there, where perhaps myself, somebody of my caliber or lower, we may take a swing at it.
Yep. usually you only take swings when you feel like you're in some form of jeopardy or you're nervous or you're something along those lines,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you stay in control of the table because when you're taking a swing, you're going for it.
Yeah, 100%.
You're taking 5 steps back and you're punting is what
Yeah.
you're literally like
I've seen
You're
I've played
going for this
players
one.
that take those punts and those swings in every game.
yeah. And that's not professional.
That is
right?
not. No.
And-
9
and
out of 10 that
to be fair, these are pros.
yes.
So that's why we're using the word professional in a number of our analogies, is these guys are legitimate pros now, trying to earn a living. Not necessarily complete living, although I think maybe Steven is.
Steven is, and I think
and
Joe takes just the summer off
Yeah.
and works.
And Joe does do some working, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
but through the winter months, this is the job.
Yep. And try to remember that Steven is legitimately a touring pro, and Joe is not. He's a part-time touring pro.
Correct.
Part-time.
So does Joe try to play this cue ball in behind that 5 ball? Do you get flirtatious like that? Send the one ball
so
back down.
far out you can, but it makes it a lot tougher because the one's so far away from the rail right now. Because it's
Look
so
at
far away from
this.
the rail, that was a tough shot to do what you asked for.
Yeah. Does he get the window though?
No, yeah, he left it.
He did.
But he didn't leave it total duck because Steven's got to really let this cue ball go to get on the 2. There's a bit of a natural between the side pocket and the 7 ball to go through that. But then there's a real chance it's going to crash on the 9 ball coming out.
Yep.
And he won't get on the 2. So Steven's got to get a little fortunate here. This is a cross between skill and luck. And he's letting the cue ball go, and he got lucky.
Oh, lucky off the horn.
He got lucky mostly. He
Mostly.
didn't get position, but he got lucky.
Yeah. A little bit fortunate or unfortunate.
He did not.
Off that horn of the side
I
pocket.
think he either put some accidental left on it, or he undercut the 1.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, watch here. It goes off
which
this.
means he hit too much 1 ball.
goes off the horn here. Changes angle.
He wanted on the other side of that side pocket is what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, now he's just gonna.
But
He's
now
putting
yeah.
Joe almost in jail. He's
No,
got the
no.
back rail.
He's got 2 rails.
Yeah.
He'll go.
I think
Joe will go
he's-
2 rails.
Yeah.
Nope, this way. Right. He's
Yeah.
going to go here, here, and there. And then the cue balls, he's going to try to get the 2 ball, probably to go between the 9 and the 7, maybe hit part of the 7, and get that out of there.
Well, and going the 2 rail like you suggested, right off the right side rail, bottom rail, does make that 2 ball a touch bigger.
A lot bigger.
Yeah. Going
bigger.
as opposed to the
See,
other option.
He's looking
Yeah.
exactly now. What's the deal? Is he going to hit half the 2 and get the cue ball to come out? Or he's going to hit full 2 ball and try to use the 2 ball to have the 2 ball go safe.
He's looking at both options here. He's looking
There's-
at the 1 rail kick now.
He's got
1 rail kick, left hand spin.
He'd have to dig to get this 1 rail.
Yeah, he's going
And
for
also,
it.
there's a chance the cue ball will scratch off this 2 ball.
There is.
On the 1 rail. If
Yeah.
It hits the back of the 2.
Oh, how does he hit it?
He hit it cleanly.
How does he hit it?
Very,
And behind the
very
4,
Yeah, very cleanly. Nice shot.
does he leave the jump shot open though? Is there enough room?
I think
Or is the 4 in the way a little bit?
No, the 4's not in the way for the cut because he only wants half of the 2 ball for the cut, right?
Yep.
And he can see half or even 3/4 of the 2 ball. So the 4's not in the way here. It's all about the 3 getting over that.
Oh, dead to the heart.
There's the success. And
Dead
and
to
it
the
was
heart.
not half, it was 3/4 of that 2 ball, and you can tell because how the cue ball stopped so quickly. If you only had half, the cue ball would have come out way quicker, way hotter. You know what I mean?
Does it pass the 6, or is he going to have to play another safety here?
He really didn't get rewarded
No.
for making
well,
that
I
ball.
mean,
The reward is he's still at the table.
that's
his
right.
reward.
That's right.
But that's
No
it.
good shot goes unpunished.
Yeah.
That's the rule, according to the pool gods.
This
Oh my
guy
God, he
is
went for
a
it.
banking maniac.
It is Sunday. Banks are open.
I believe this touring pro we're looking at here got 3rd in the Derby City bank pool last
Yes.
year or the year before.
Yep.
So and he contended with the 2-time champion, which was Fedor Gorst,
Yep.
in one of his matches.
Yeah.
Including beating him in the first because they play a best 2 out of 3. He beat him in the first one.
Yeah.
So Stephen Banks' ball's noticeably better than other players. Possibly Stephen Banks' ball's noticeably better than most pros.
I would agree.
And that being said, that's probably why you see this pro, Stephen Holem, take on a lot of Banks, because not just his skill but his confidence.
Well, and he definitely puts the confidence stroke when
Yeah.
he does bank, right?
He plays.
There's no halfway.
Oh no!
Well,
While we're talking,
it's a 6-9
he
combo.
does not play a position shot of. He overran that by 4 feet.
Yeah, he sure did.
He wanted to run that ball 3 to 3.5 feet, and he ran it 8.
It's a mere time saver shot.
Oh my goodness!
Catching up on the time, that's all that was.
So
To the hill
he adapted.
for
He-
Mr. Holem.
And maybe kind of lucky that he was really close to line straight up, because he stopped the cue ball dead, which means he had to be really close to line straight up on that combo. Sometimes that happens. You play such a bad shot
Yep.
that it works out for you.
Yeah,
And that happens
it's
more.
so egregious.
That happens more in 8-ball than you can ever imagine.
Yes, it does.
Just try to remember, folks, in regards to skill, there's the potting of the ball, and then there's the position playing of the ball.
Correct.
In 9-ball and 10-ball, you only play on 1 ball. In 8-ball, you play on 4 balls. Often you play on 2 balls and you have a backup. And even then, you land on another ball you didn't even notice.
And if
And-
9 out of
and-
10 is
and
your
you
trouble
get out.
ball, yeah.
Nice. There we go. Joe went back to the original break. He's 6 inches for sure from a great reward. He might be there. But he played the break that he had success 3 or 4 in a row
Yep.
prior.
Yep.
Before he put all that topspin on it last time and lost the cue ball. And the balls went in the same place again. He made 1 or 2 balls, I think 2 balls,
Yeah.
and he had some control over the cue ball.
Tight little starter here, though.
It looks like he's thinking about manning up. Yeah, he took 1 look and he said to himself, I'm going for this, and he went back and adjusted his ball cap, had a look at the shot, and this is a go time shot.
This is the make or break
He's
right
going to
here.
fine cut this. And the only thing he's worried about now is the cue ball coming back at him so fast.
That's
he
right.
wants to get the tip out of the way. That's it.
Yep. The make or break, and he makes.
Whoa.
Gotta
Whoa.
slow up.
He's got
He's
it.
there.
You could tell the very first time he looked at it, he took a step back, and it was, I'm going for this.
Yep.
Instantly. And then from there, every movement around the table was preparing for this fine cut.
I agree.
So here we go. Good for you, Joe. Time to fight back. Come on. Good shot.
Well, and this is the part that exactly this score line, and it was Jeff Wanless and Joe Spence. This is exactly how
There you
he
go.
came
He's
back.
done it before, I guess, right?
That's it. He
Not
did it
with
yesterday.
not with the same guy. There's
Not
a
with the same caliber.
outside chance that Jeff
Correct.
maybe gave him 1 or 2,
Yeah.
and Steven might not.
Yeah.
But he's still done it.
Well,
Let's be
and
fair. He has done it.
Joe, right now, if he wins this game, he's really done everything he could do, because now he's got to fade a Holem break.
Yeah.
And if he gets a chance at the table, now his fate's back in his hands.
And he did it, and he would have completed this in style. A break and run with a step up, like a man up style, go
Yep.
for it shot to get started. He did it in style, right? So
Yep.
this, as long as he plays his position on this 8-ball respectably. And hey, by the way, guys, in case I've mentioned this before, the 9-ball is just behind the spot, and the 8-ball's on the other side of the table. And here we go again, where somebody is trying to play on that ball just behind the spot. And I recommend you guys go practice that. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet in this telecast,
You might have mentioned it once or
but
twice.
guess what? The importance of that. It happens so often. I recommend 10 times per day, practice some kind of shot from one side of the table to that position. It'll really help.
I would agree.
Good for you, Joe.
Yeah, job well done. And
A
for
nice
those,
quality break and run.
that's right. For those just joining in, this is what they're playing for. It is the A-side finals that we're at this point. That is the hardware, minus, of course, the jersey. And the winner, of course, going on to the Memorial Cup. So as you can see on that Memorial Cup, Steven has won, then Russ won, then Ben won, then Steven won.
Roman Mastika. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a good
Ramon.
player.
Yeah, Ramon.
I think he was
Mestica.
third in the U.S. Open 9-ball about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So I know that Joe is vying to get his name on this cup.
Johnny Pay Pompey's name is on that cup.
It sure is.
What? Where? What, I didn't. Good for Johnny. Good for you, bud. That would have been some outstanding play. Good for you.
So
Here goes Steven.
Yeah.
To try to.
close escrow.
Yes.
Ball in, ball in.
Steven with a much more controlled break, and
Look
he
at
got
this.
rewarded.
Except the 6.
Oh,
but the 6-8's
6-8's
not bad.
He just saw. He went from. I guarantee you, he went from an ugly look to a bit of a smile.
Yeah.
When the 6 almost tied up with the 8, and then where he was standing, you could see it's a almost wired combo.
It was a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Right.
But also remember, this guy is a legitimate pro regarding banking, and that 6
yeah.
ball is in
That's
bank.
a hanger.
It's in bank heaven.
Yeah.
Where that 6 is. If it doesn't go in the side, actually. It might actually even go in the side, but it's in bank heaven. So
Ideal bank position
the
for
more
sure.
Steven walks around the table, the more that 6 ball is no longer a worry because he gets all these good thoughts in his head
Yeah.
of what his possibilities are.
He's got to do some work here. Nice little draw.
Just a stun into the
Stun into the rail
He
and
had-
back out. Yeah.
He had the needed angle to make that work.
I
don't
he's
think
a
he quite
little,
got there
No,
yet.
he's a little shallow of where he wanted to be.
He stayed on the side that he wanted to be.
Yes.
But of course, he wanted to be another full ball out.
Yeah.
He wanted just a little angle or straight in.
He should be able to pinch this, though, past that left side pocket.
I think this with just spin is good.
Yeah.
And he didn't even spin it hard.
Nope.
He just basically let it come out. Now, here's he's not natural here to get on the 6 ball, so except for the 6-8 combo, that's a natural. So
I think he is playing the 6-8
he
combo.
might very well be doing specifically that because that's the only natural thing, but
He's underhit this.
he has
He's
totally.
well underhit it. This makes it real interesting
Yeah,
from here.
There comes the safety.
Safety.
Oh,
No
he
rail.
just got it. Oh, no rail. You're kidding. I didn't even see that.
Well, how does Joe handle this?
Yeah, he actually got the 6 ball kind of safe minus a bank again.
Yeah. Oh,
Joe's gonna
he-
go for
yep.
the-
Yeah, off the rail into the backside of the 8 and
Yeah.
send the cue ball around.
Or the bank.
Yeah, I don't mind him playing the bank here.
Nope. Because the cue ball is going to have some kind of a crash on the 8 ball for sure, and
Yeah.
it'll help have the cue ball hang around for the 7, right?
Yeah.
If he plays the bank.
Yeah,
Which he
I
looks
love
like
it.
he's lining
I
up.
love it. I love it, Joe. Go get it.
The only
It's a matter of what style of bank. The bat cut or straight.
The thing here is where's the 8 going? That's the thing.
Yeah.
He already knows where the 6 is going, hopefully the pocket. He knows where the cue ball is going, not far from where it is exactly right now because it'll come out a little bit. Where's the 8 going to go? Because he doesn't want to have the 8 ball go froze to that back rail.
Even if it does, though, I think he would be in good position on the 7. Ah, perfect.
Well, that's the only issue that could have gone wrong, and it's not a biggie. The cue ball stayed too close to the rail.
I agree. Yeah.
If it would have come out a foot, it would have been a duck. But because it's an inch or 2 inches from the rail, it made it he's a little bit of work to do.
Yeah. I completely agree.
So we'll see. He might have specifically playing that bank, thinking of 2 things.
Well, Joe handles these
Getting 8
pressure
over the
shots.
pocket.
Yeah, he handles these pressure shots really, really well. Just steady Eddie, smooth stroke it in, nothing to do,
Nice.
just like that.
Nice. Whoa, or hurry.
Doesn't, yeah.
Whoa, or hurry.
Yeah, it's one of the 2.
Yeah.
Just don't be over the 9.
Okay, here's another scenario, guys. The 9 ball the money ball is just behind the spot.
Again?
And the
You
8
don't say.
ball is down table. Wow.
Shocker.
What a thing to practice. These guys have had to shoot this kind of a shot 6 times already, maybe 7 in this match. Go practice this, folks. It's important. It'll make you a better player.
To go hill. Oh, he's short. Well short of pace. He is dead on the 50-yard line.
Well, it's not terrible. No, he's got that. He's got that cut the 9 in, let the cue ball freeze 2 rails on the back rail shot, right?
Yep.
That's what he's got.
He sure would have liked this a lot easier than this, though.
Of course,
no question.
but remember, even if you practice that shot I just talked about with the 9 behind the spot and the other ball wherever, down table, it doesn't mean it's easy, and he missed it. Now watch the cue ball. He's going to try. He's playing to freeze this cue ball to that back rail. I guarantee it.
Yep.
And 100% success. That's the only safe you have out of that shot that you're not that happy with your position on the 9, is it makes the shot just a little bit easier if you get really good at that 2 rails all the way back to freeze. Because it's almost like a two-way shot.
Yep.
As long as the 9 ball doesn't double right over the hole, you're going to leave your opponent with a not that easy of a shot.
Well, and you can tell just by what Steven's doing. He's not down into this and stroking it in.
No.
Right?
He's taking his real time and looking at he's even putting his hand on the table where the cue ball is going to hit. Is this going to be a scratch shot? See, he's looking at where the cue ball is going to go. So even though Joe missed it, he got a really good second best. And the second best is he let that cue ball go 2 rails and freeze on that back rail. He doesn't just let the cue ball go.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, you've got 2 pockets you can scratch in on this shot.
Yes.
The side pocket, or depending on how you hit it, the corner pocket.
See, and from probably 15 places on this table, Steven is so happy to have this shot. This is not one of those 15 places.
It is. No.
Right?
Definitely not one.
So Steven is really taking his time because it's a tough shot and there's an outside chance of a scratch in the side.
Well, and do you really want to go hill with Joe Spence?
Well, remember, he's not thinking that. He's just thinking this is a tough shot. Look what he's done here. If that 9 ball doesn't freeze, he sold it out.
It is froze.
And he got lucky.
Wow. What are we going to see here out of Joe? Does he just go for it? I think he does.
That is very fortunate.
I think Joe's going for this.
Yeah.
He's going to try to kick down the front door.
Joe's going to let this cue ball go.
Yep.
Because
straight up and down.
He no longer cares. He also might put right-hand siding on it, and just as long as he doesn't scratch in that top right corner, the more right side you put on it, the less you will, right?
Yeah.
So there's a real possibility that he's going to let it go in 2 different ways, but he's already made the decision he's going to go down fighting, which means he's going for this.
I love it.
As hard as it is, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Similar to that 1 ball he had 2 racks ago, he's already decided, I'm going for this bugger. Are we going to have a hill?
I want to see it. Oh,
nope. Oh.
He totally got full punished.
He
but
overcut it.
I really do appreciate the go for it.
Yeah.
Right? Don't bother trying to play safe. Just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really unfortunate end to a really great match.
You know what happened there? You got to remember, you don't miss the shot, you miss the position. Try to remember that, people.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, with that 9 ball or money ball, it could be 10 ball.
Yeah.
It always finishes so often behind the spot. And the other ball finishes down table a long ways away. Mm-hmm. You really got to practice, because that's what happened. As hard a shot it was for Joe to play from the 8 to the 9, which it was a hard shot.
Yeah.
He didn't get there.
Yep.
So he really didn't miss the 9 ball. He missed position on the 9 ball.
Correct.
And that's why I say practice that shot.
That was the execution that we were talking about earlier.
And we talked about it 6 or 7 times before it happened.
Yeah.
And here it happened again, and this time they didn't get there.
Yep.
And this time he missed the position, and that's why it's not hill.
Correct.
It was a tough shot, though, you guys. It was a tough shot.
Oh, it was deadly tough. That being said, a great match, of course, by both players. Is it a prequel to the final that we're going to come and see a little bit later tonight?
I think the only guy that might stop Joe is Ben.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because Ben is technically this is Ben's house.
Yeah.
He does not play the same as he does in this house.
Yeah.
Ben is a monster in this house.
I agree.
So anybody that can stop Ben has a legitimate chance to win, and someone has already done it once.
Yep.
And it might even have been Joe.
I think it was Joe.
So Benny's going to be the only guy. It's really going to, my opinion, going to be between those 3.
I agree. And they are setting it up on the stream table.
And is it a true double knockout?
It is true double
So
dip.
that means not only is Steven hold the hammer here, but he is swinging that hammer because they've got to beat Steven twice.
Yeah. Good
Huge,
luck with that.
Huge.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
That is a mountain to climb.
But one of those two guys, it's possible. If you put a little doubt in Steven's mind, it's possible.
I agree. With that being said, we are going to do a quick shutdown, restart, get the next match locked, loaded, and ready to rock and
thanks,
roll.
guys. I'm going to head out, and thanks for having me. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah,
It was fun.
absolutely. Hey, thanks for sitting in with me. I do appreciate it.
No problem, buddy. Hope you guys all have a great night and keep watching because there's lots of good pool left.
Oh,
Talk
yes.
to you later.
We'll be here to cover it. All right, guys. So on behalf of myself, Sean, and the rest of the Q Sports Live team, we appreciate you tuning in. Don't go far. Get the popcorn ready. More matches coming your way. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in.